Rick Santorum did an interview with a Philadelphia radio station, and at one point he was asked about Pope Francis and his stance on climate change. His answer is classic Rick Santorum, and it's hilarious. He said, quote, "The church has gotten it wrong a few times on science." You don't say. "We probably are better off leaving science to the scientists." Whoa. Okay, Rick. If only scientists should talk about science, why the fuck do you weigh in on climate change and say you don't believe it? Why do you weigh in on various scientific issues and usually come out on the wrong side of said issues? Leave the science to the scientists if the person talking disagrees with me. If they agree with me, you can talk about science all they want. And also, dude, Pope Francis has a master's degree in chemistry. Remind me what kind of degree you have again? A degree in rootin' tootin' Bible buffoonery. That's Rick Santorum's degree. And by the way, can we just note for the record real quick that Rick Santorum said this, and we can now use this against him in the future? Anytime he says anything that's anti-science, immediately pull out, "Leave the science to the scientists, leave the science to the scientists, leave the science to the scientists." I have a quote here from Rick Santorum, Rick. It says, "Leave the science to the scientists." You said that. Why are you talking about science now? And also, when he said the church has gotten it wrong a few times in the past, let's use that against him too. And next time he goes, "The Bible and Jesus and God and you go, "Oh, really? But they got some things wrong, didn't they?" "Oh, you said that." So now you're saying it's inarguable because it's science and it's God, but you said that. He's such a silly person. I'm not done yet. He said, quote, "When we get involved with controversial and scientific theories, I think the church is not as forceful and not as credible." Pause for laughter because Rick Santorum is talking about people's credibility. Rick, the version of religion that is least credible is the one that you believe. He says, "I've said this to the Catholic bishops many times. When they get involved in agriculture policy, or things like that are really outside of the scope of what the church's main message is, that we're better off sticking to the things that are really the core teachings of the church as opposed to getting involved in every other kind of issue that happens to be popular at the time." Right, got it. So now Rick Santorum is going to crusade for a new immigration bill that immediately gives all them citizenship. He wants more food stamps. He wants a better social safety net. He wants to raise the minimum wage. He wants to care about the poor, the sick, and the downtrodden. Oh, he doesn't want that. That's weird. So why are you ranting about how, the church should stick to churchly things and Christian things? Let's do that. Let's, follow Jesus as opposed to talking about science and shit. All right, so get us out of the wars. Jesus is a pacifist. Jesus said, turn the other cheek. That means if you hit him on one side, he presents his other cheek, says, hit me there too. That's going to be your policy now towards Syria, right? ISIS hits us. You go, it's all right, don't worry, we're pulling out, we're going home. We're going to go have some Taco Bell. No, you're not going to do that. You know you're not going to do that. The thing is, a guy like Rick Santorum, he just has verbal diarrhea all day. Fucking verbal diarrhea all over the place. When it suits his argument, science, leave the science to the scientists. You know what, buddy? Agreed, let's do that. Take a look at this chart here. Whoopsie-daisy, Rick. See, what is this? Well, this is the peer-reviewed studies on climate change over a very long time span there, as you can see. And what is it? 99.8%, 99.9% of all of the peer-reviewed scientific studies on climate change say it's real and it's man-made and we must do something about it. That little sliver of red is the only studies that say no. Over 13,000 studies. And only fucking 0.01 or 0.1% or whatever the fuck it is say no, it's not real. Every other one. So even when liberals say 97% of climate scientists believe in it, even that's outdated. This is more accurate because it's the studies themselves, the peer-reviewed studies. So I guess in conclusion, Rick, I agree. Let's go with what the scientists say on the issue of science. So namely, let's go with the opposite of everything you've ever said and advocated for.